Do you ever wonder why all of a sudden your mind is really focused on something maybe in the past didn't really scare you? Why all of a sudden you don't remember it ever being a thing before? Hello, I'm Samantha Bray, host of OCD Insights podcast and a licensed therapist and OCD specialist. Yesterday, when I was in session, and I'm deeply engrossed in what my client is saying. And all of a sudden, I thought I saw something out of the side in my peripheral vision crawling on my leg. And I jumped out of my seat and shrieked and probably scared them very much. And I had to laugh because it was just my own toenail that I forgot I had painted a dark purple color, like almost black. So if you can imagine, my big toenail is about the size of my thumbnail, and it was dark purple, almost black. And I had my foot crossed on top of my knee here. And when we were talking, I must have wiggled my toe. I move my toes a lot whenever I'm thinking. It's one of those funny things you might do. And out of my peripheral vision, I saw my toe wiggle and scared myself. And so this is an example of how these things sometimes happen. So the day before was garbage day, and we had brought our cans in from the road, and my family says, "You have got to come see us." And this is the first time in my life that I've ever seen a real bona fide black widow. Look at that. She is so beautiful. And trying to take a video, my hands were shaking. There's like some primal thing in me that tells me to stay away from bugs. And I had looked up black widows in the past, and I found out that they were very docile. They're not aggressive at all. You could actually put one in your hand and like let it crawl around in your hand with very low risk. Now, I'm not suggesting do this, especially kids at home. Don't go playing with spiders. I didn't do this, but I saw videos of people doing this, nature experts that were suggesting that, they're more scared of us than we are of them. And, if you can just get them outside of your living quarters, out into the woods, let them go. So right following, after actually seeing a black widow in my garbage can outside, the next day, what happens? My mind infers lightning fast, split second. It infers that the thing that I see wiggling in my peripheral vision is a black widow on my leg. And that is often what happens with my clients, that, all of a sudden a thought will fly into their mind. Oh my gosh. And instead of understanding where that inference and logic is coming from, they start to go into a deeper dive of why is that thing scaring me? What is it that made me have that fright? Another example, I one time been driving to my kids' school, and NPR was doing a show on how to best handle if you or your children were bit by a rattlesnake, which are poisonous, and they're pretty common in Texas, where I'm from. And while I was listening to the doctor explain the do's and don'ts, she said, these are the things you don't want to do, X, Y, and Z, PDQ. I don't know. She named a lot of things. And I was like, my gosh, half of those things I would have done, because it was counterintuitive to me that wasn't going to help. And it scared me because I thought I did not know best what to do. And I made a mental note. You need to learn what to do. This is scary. I spent time and energy on that topic. And so then what happens? I'm walking down the sidewalk in a beautifully manicured neighborhood near my office on my lunch break with my husband, and we're walking down the road, and all of a sudden I hear something go shh. So this wasn't a visual cue like the spider, it was a sound. And I jump into the middle of the road, and I'm pulling him to try to get him to go with me. And he's like, "What are you doing? Why are you in the middle of the street? Get on the sidewalk." And then we see the sprinkler heads in a yard start popping up and sprinkling water. But of course, it was still fresh in my subconscious about the rattlesnake situation that what my mind instantly did was anything that resembles a rattlesnake, sounds, smells, looks, it threw into my conscious awareness, danger. And I'm hoping that you can see how this can sometimes relate to how new OCD topics or threads start coming into your existence. It might be that you heard, saw, may notice something in passing even. Maybe you were sitting in the airport waiting for your plane and the TV over in the distance was playing a news story you're barely paying attention to. Or maybe you were in the grocery store line and you overheard someone telling a story that was frightening on the phone and you didn't really make a connection, but it was being recorded in your mind. And then whenever you come across a situation that just might resemble in the slightest that scary thing, this is what our mind does. Comment below if you have experienced something like this, the water hose that you thought was a snake or anything like that.